2 of Get to Know Me. Clearly I'm in the same outfit as my original Get to Know Me video because I'm filming this all together. But I figured I would break it up just because it was like 30 minutes. I'm like, I should break this up. That way, you know, you can get to know me in little spurts, not all at the same time. No, I'm kidding. So I have even more questions to answer for you guys, so here we go. Okay, so first question for this one. What are my roots? I am Irish, mostly. Whew. I mean, my last name is Murphy. I am quite Irish. And actually my family, I think it was just my great-grandparents, or maybe it was great-great, came over during the Great Potato Famine in the 1850s, is that right? People from Ireland, is that when it was? Maybe 1860s, well somewhere in there, or maybe 1830s. Oh my gosh, I need to look this up. I used to know it, like, anyway, so they came over in the 1800s during the Great Potato Famine and just kind of started over here. And and that's mostly from my dad's side, and they kind of settled in the Ohio kind of area as they moved inward. And so his side of the family, my dad's side of the family, most of them live in Ohio, in Cleveland actually. And he's a big Cleveland Indians fan and Browns fan, poor Browns. And and then my mother's side of the family is from Mississippi, Meridian. So if anyone is from Meridian out there, or you live nearby, let me know down below, because my mom will love that. So her side of the family we visit from time to time. They live in Meridian, and we actually haven't visited them in a long time. So my mom's got a little southern accent, and I just love it. And my dad's a Yankee through and through. Oh, he's such a Yankee. Anyway, not a Yankee like the sports team, just like a Yankee. Like, I don't know, like a northerner. But I also, from my mom's side, I have Cherokee in me, Native American. And I think that's only my great-grandparents. My grandmother's name was like, I think her name was like Oregon, Missouri. Isn't that such a cool name? So I have a little bit of Native American me and a little bit of Irish. So I'm fair-skinned, but I tan well. So there's that. Another person asked if I dye my hair or if I ever will. I've never dyed my hair actually, and that's why it's just kind of a flat brown. But I was actually born with kind of reddish hair, and when I'm in the sun, you do see a lot, not a lot of red, but it does have a little bit of a reddish tint to it. Will I ever dye my hair? I mean, I don't want to say never. I never say never, because you just never know. But as of right now, I don't really have any plans. Sometimes I think, I'm like, oh, I could go a little lighter, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't mind my hair color. I like being a brunette. I mean, that's the way I was made, and there was a reason he chose this to be my hair color. Maybe it is the most flattering thing for me. I don't know, but that's kind of my thing. But who knows? Well, who knows? Favorite ice cream? Oh my gosh, like cherry ice cream, or like cherry with chocolate. And another person asked my favorite color, pink, and that ice cream is usually pink, which I love. But cherry shakes, I love. Cherry ice cream, I just love it. If you've never had it, get it. It is so good. Okay, now I'm just jumping all around. Okay, what is my pet peeves? This video is so long. I'm trying to, we'll see. Pet peeves. One of my biggest one is when people are, like, have fake personalities. And that kind of sprung from when I was in theater, and just a lot of people around me were just very fake. And I was like, be real. I don't understand how you can go through life and, like, I feel like they're performing all the time. Like, they're monologuing all the time and making people laugh. And I get that. I mean, I can be silly and I can do that from time to time, but I don't understand that. I don't get that. I really don't. And then when I started watching YouTube videos, and I could do a whole video on this, but I would really like some people, and then I would start to realize after a few videos, I'm like, I think this personality is kind of fake. Like, they'll do that fake quirky thing, like where they're like intentionally quirky, but in real life they probably aren't, or I don't know. And that's not true about all of them. There are plenty of people, but in reality, I just stopped watching them. I have a very small pool of people that I actually watch on here that I don't feel is being fake. Because I can't do it. I see right through it, and I'm sure you guys do too, and I cannot do it. I'm like, no, I don't have time for all this. I do not have time for your fake personality. Just be yourself. You might be semi-quirky, then just be sort of quirky. You don't need to be over the top quirky just because some people that have tons of subscribers are, you know, I don't know. I don't even have a specific person in mind anymore, but just, I feel like there's a lot of that on here, and I'm like, just be real. Ooh. Someone asked what my favorite show, well, a few people asked what my favorite show or role that I've ever done in a show. I've done a few, and they were all kind of in the past. Like all of these were from high school, because I got to play roles in high school that I probably wouldn't play like elsewhere. Maybe when I'm older, or maybe this one I probably would. One of them I loved doing was Wendy and Peter Pan. Peter Pan, Disney, duh. But it's just, I just loved it. I just loved it. So that was a fun one. We got to fly, which was really cool to do. Another favorite was when I got to play the witch in Into the Woods, which that musical is amazing, and Sondheim, of course, writes amazing music, but they're doing a movie version of it soon, and Meryl Streep is playing the witch, and I can't wait. But that was so much fun to play, because that's a role I would probably never be cast as, just because if you know the show, you'd know why. It doesn't make sense for me, but one that I might be cast as elsewhere would be, I got to play Amneris in Aida, and if you know that show, that was fun, because it was all kinds of belty, and it was so much fun, and it was ancient Egypt, which I have a nerdy obsession with, and I have for a very long time. So that was really, really, really cool. How can I afford high-end things on a drugstore budget? Now, you guys know, and this goes along with another question. Well, first of all, I don't really buy high-end makeup unless it's like through HauteLook, or like I'm getting cash back through Ebates. And I know some people have asked me to do a whole video on Ebates, maybe I will, or maybe a whole video on this, but in short terms, HauteLook, they have all kinds of things for crazy cheap, like The Balm is always on there, Tarina Tarantino's on there, Too Faced was just on there. I bought a ton of lipstick, and they're usually like $22, and they were like $8 on there. I was like, oh, I could get like 3 for the price of 1, so you better believe I did. But you just kind of got to watch it like a hawk, create an account, and just wait. And then Ebates, you get cash back. So if you go there to the site first, create an account, and go to the site first, and then go to where you're going to shop through that site, you get cash back, and it's awesome. But I could do a whole video on that stuff. And a lot of people have asked, why do I get rid of so much makeup, and also why do I sell it instead of give it away? I don't sell everything. Most things I do give away. I have a bag filled with makeup I'm getting rid of that I'm just giving to my sisters. Some things I save just because they might still be brand new, but I just know they'll love it more than I will. Other things I sell because I know that my sisters and friends just won't wear it. You know, if it's a crazy colors, or if it's, you know, my sisters, they don't have a collection like I do. They don't want a collection like I do. So, you know, if I've given them 3 different eyeshadow palettes in a year, they're like, okay, you know, that's good. How many can they possibly own that they're going to use? So, and then on top of that, if it's just a crazy lip color, I'm not going to give it, they're just not going to use it. It would just go to waste, just as it is in my collection. So I kind of use my best judgment when it comes to what I'm going to sell and what I'm going to keep and give away. That same goes for jewelry and clothes and purses and whatever. Some people have said, I can't believe you're so greedy that you're selling the jewelry instead of giving it away. I'm like, usually I've asked my sisters, and they, you know, I'll show them the jewelry and they'll say, no, I don't really want it. Or they've already gone through it, and then I sell what's left. On top of that, I think people think that on YouTube you make a ton of money. I do not make that much money. I mean, it's a nice chunk that it helps with bills, mostly my car payment, but it's not like an exorbitant amount. Like, at least it's not right now here at 30,000 subscribers. I think people have this grandiose idea that we make tons of money, and boy, I am not making that much money right now. But like I said, it's enough that it helps. But like I said, I have so much student loan debt, and just bills. It's not any different than anyone else's life. So that is, you know, when I sell those things, either I put them back into my channel and I buy like this camera that I got, or I buy a new tripod, or right now I want to really get a light so I can do better tutorials, so I can do, because I've only done like 1 or 2 tutorials because the lighting is just not good for that. It washes, and you can see, I mean, if you saw me in person right now, this look is really a lot. But on the camera with natural lighting, it's kind of flushed out, which is fine, and it's not like it looks bad, but I have to cake everything on, and then it still gets washed out anyway. So it's hard to explain, but basically, I will take that money and put it into my channel in some way, or I'll buy some new products that everyone's asking me to review, or, you know, or I use it to pay bills because I need, you know, this is kind of one of my jobs. So I hope you guys understand that that's why I do it. It's not because I'm greedy. It's probably because I actually need the money. Anyway, so yes. The last one I'll answer today, because there's a ton. Tips on starting a channel. And this, if you'd like me to do a whole video on this, I would love to, because I've got a lot of tips of things that have worked for me and things that didn't work for me that I would say, don't even worry about this, but do this, you know. But my main short-term tips are just be yourself, like for real be yourself. Don't try and be what everyone else is, because there's no point. All these types of videos we watch, that's the thing, like, you know, someone first had the idea to do a product empties video, and now everyone does it. Someone first had the idea to do get ready with me videos, and now everyone does it. You can create your own staple videos. You don't have to just do that. Like my everyday makeup drawer, that is something I just thought up. And, you know, I would see people would kind of do like everyday, you know, what's in my makeup bag type of things. But that, at least from what I know, that was my idea, and I'm so excited. And I would love if that was something that caught on, because I love making them and I love watching that type of video. So you don't have to follow suit. There's nothing wrong with doing your own type of tutorial. It doesn't have to be exactly the same way that everyone else does it. That's not to say you shouldn't steal, because you should totally steal from other people, because everyone has great ideas and it's public domain. It's not like you're stealing if you're taking the idea of using the bokeh effect on a photo, you know. Everyone does it because it's really cute, and if you like that, then do it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no shame in that. But also not being ashamed to do your own thing. I think people get used to a certain type of video here on YouTube, and when you don't do that, people are like, why don't you do a voiceover instead of this? Or why don't you do, and I'm like, because they're their own person and they do it how they want to do it, and if you don't like it, no one's forcing you to watch that. You know that, right? But so be real, work really hard, and my main tip is just learn. If you can every week learn one thing to improve your channel is going to be awesome by the end of the year. You know, like the other day I was like, I want to make my thumbnails better. So I figured out that a lot of people use this PicMonkey website. And so I got on there and taught it to myself. And now if you've looked, my last like probably 5 or 6 thumbnails are baller, because I worked really hard on learning that stupid little free website that I love. But just taking time to learn one more thing. Like every once in a while I'll pick up my camera booklet and learn how to do one more thing with it, because there's so much to learn, or I'll look up a YouTube video on it. If you've noticed, I haven't had as many issues with autofocusing, like doing it randomly, because I'm like, I realized I just need to do manual focus and make sure it's centered on me. And you know, I took the time to learn that one week, and it's gotten better. Little by little, your channel will get better, I promise. And just so you know, I first started, this is a 30-minute video, holy crap. Just so you know, I first started my YouTube channel with my iPhone 4S, which actually, I still have the same iPhone 4S. I need to update my phone, but it works. I'm not worried about it. I don't really care that much, to be honest. But that's what I did for the first probably 8 or 9 months. No, probably like probably 8 or 9 months. I just bought like a $5 little tripod on eBay that would fit my phone, and I had it on a little TV tray table in front of my window, and that is what I did. And it worked just fine. And obviously it's not as good of quality as like my Canon T5i is, but it's pretty good for, you know, a beginning channel. Are you kidding? And if mine ever broke, guess what? I'd be using my phone for a while, because it's really not that bad. And it's way better than like a webcam would be, because I had initially started with that and I was like, this isn't working. So if I can I'll get to it. I'll have to link my very first video below. I haven't changed a bit. I was watching it, I'm like, I am so thankful that I'm still the same girl. Like, you're gonna laugh when you watch it, because you'll be like, yep, that is Jessica. I haven't changed, and I don't plan on it, so don't you worry. Anyway, so I hope this part 2 was enjoyable for you guys, and I'm so glad you watched. I'm glad you got to know a little bit more about me, and I will catch you guys very soon. Bye.